Stop killing us! Say what? Stop killing us! Stop killing us! Stop!
Hands up! He got a gun! He got a gun! Pow, 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 pow! That's it! He ain't had no gun!
State of emergency declared as Charlotte protests continue for second night. One man is in critical condition after being shot, though not by police. Streets appeared calm early Thursday in downtown Charlotte after a second night of violent protests over the deadly police shooting of a black man, although at least 3 major businesses were asking their employees to stay home for the day as the city remained on edge.
Officers observed a subject, Mr. Keith Lamont Scott, inside a vehicle at the apartment complex. He exited the vehicle armed with a handgun. The officers observed him get back into that vehicle, at which time they approached the vehicle. The officers gave loud, clear, verbal commands, which were also heard by many of the witnesses. They were instructing the subject, once he got out of the vehicle, to drop the weapon. He stepped out, posing a threat to the officers, and Officer Brentley Vinson subsequently fired his weapon, striking the subject. Later on in the evening, early this morning actually, about 1:45 this morning, an additional group of protesters and agitators gathered. They made their way down to Interstate I-85, and they blocked both lanes, northbound and southbound. They broke into the back of a tractor trailer and started setting items on fire. As of right now, we have 16 officers who've been injured. We have multiple police vehicles that have been damaged. And our officers, acting heroically, we're just trying to de-escalate the situation and resolve it as peacefully as possible. It's time to change the narrative, because I can tell you from the facts that the story is a little bit different as to how it's been portrayed so far, especially through social media.
Peaceful protests turned violent on Wednesday, night 2 of demonstrations in Charlotte. Along with one person being critically shot in the head, there are reports of stores looted, windows broken, and reporters on scene threatened and assaulted. The Charlotte Metropolitan Police Department declared the protests an unlawful assembly and announced their willingness to use non-lethal instruments to control the crowd, estimated to be in the hundreds. WCNC reported medics confirmed a gunshot wound on the corner of College and Trade. The victim had life-threatening injuries, and was confirmed deceased by Police Chief Kerr Putney, but that report has been corrected. The victim is in critical condition on life support, according to the city government. The city of Charlotte is confirming no officer was involved in the shooting. Some protesters on scene, however, claimed police shot a man throwing bottles.
We are going back live to Uptown Charlotte, where those protesters have now moved to CMPD headquarters. They are on the steps of the headquarters. They have stopped. They apparently are on their move to Marshall Park, where a vigil, prayer service, and protest will be going on at 7 o'clock tonight. But from Sky 3, as you can see in the left corner of your screen, a small group, but a vocal group now. They are making themselves heard, saying no justice, no peace in front of CMPD headquarters.
WBTV is committed to providing the most accurate account of what happened in the moments surrounding yesterday's deadly officer-involved shooting. It's why we're working to get access to audio and video from the police dash cameras and body cams on scene last night. CMPD Chief Kerr Putney says he's reviewing video of the incident in which an officer opened fire on a man they say had a gun. Investigative reporter Nick Oxner has been working to get that video today. He joins us now live in the studio with what police are saying. Nick?
Yeah, Jamie, at a press conference this morning, Chief Kirkputney told reporters a law recently passed by the General Assembly meant video of the shooting wasn't a public record. But that law doesn't take effect until next month. A police spokesman says Putney misspoke this morning, but is still denying our request for video, citing a different law that one local lawyer tells me actually says the video should be made public.
The law is pretty specific, especially around criminal evidence for an investigation, and I cannot release that.
CMPD Chief Kirkputney told reporters Wednesday morning his department would not release video or audio of the shooting of Keith Lamont Scott because of the department's ongoing investigation. He cited a portion of state law that says police investigation records are not public. But he overlooked another part of the law that carves out an exemption for cases just like this one.
The video would certainly fall under subsection 3, which is the circumstances surrounding arrest.
Criminal defense attorney Brad Smith is talking about this part of the law governing public records, which says the circumstances of an arrest, which is applicable to this case because police were trying to detain Scott at the time he was shot, must be made public. The law specifically says police must provide records documenting resistance or the use of a weapon, which police say Scott had when he got out of his car. His family disputes that.
The idea of transparency is so we don't have a situation where we have two groups of people, two sides that are both claiming different things.
Putney says he and his office is still reviewing video footage of the incident.
We're still going through all of the footage from both body-worn and dash, but until the investigation is complete, it's a part of the investigation and can't be released at this point.
Now, we will continue pushing for video of Scott's shooting to be released. Our attorneys are now making a case to City Attorney Bob Hageman and his office. We're committed to bringing you all of the facts as soon as we have them. Guys, back to you.
Keep us up to date, Nick. Thank you.
We
continue to watch, I'm sorry, Maureen, live pictures here from uptown Charlotte. You just talked about it a moment ago. Protests have been going on. Started as a silent protest at the square at Trade and Tryon. Now have made their way down the street and have stopped right in front of CMPD headquarters.
Initially, they were actually praying earlier on in the day, and you said as they were quiet, they are now chanting no justice, no peace, Black Lives Matter, various chants this afternoon. But obviously, the group has grown since it was first formed this afternoon at the corner of Trade and Tryon.
Lots of cameras you can see there from the ground shot are up as well. Peaceful, though. We've had no problems in the city of Charlotte so far this afternoon, and of course, everyone is hoping it stays that way this evening.
We know that community leaders are encouraging everyone to remain calm.